everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Vivian. I do all kinds of videos, as you saw in my intro. And if you're interested in any of those type of things or all those type of things, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss out on my future videos. Also, I do upload videos every week, at least I try to. And today I have a very fun video. I'm attempting again to do another chunky loopy blanket. And if you hear a little pitter patter, it's the doggies. They're in here with me today. So hopefully they won't be too much of a distraction. Today, I'm gonna use chenille yarn instead of the other acrylic yarn that I use. This is really soft. I'm hoping to also make the stitches less large, so it won't be such a big loopy blanket. It'll be more closely stitched together type blanket. So the yarn I bought is from an Etsy store. The Etsy store is KC Loops. Everything is made in the USA. She has offered to give you guys a coupon code. So I will have that coupon code listed below for you guys so you can take advantage, and then that way you can purchase this yarn. I am using 5 skeins of yarn. It's gonna probably be a blanket that I snuggle into to watch a movie or something like that. So I'm looking forward to trying this out because I am freaking cold. It is so cold here. This morning it was -5. I really want a big, chunky, cozy, soft blanket. So let's just get started. Okay, so to start, I'm going to start with my foundation row and I'm going to stitch on 20 stitches. And I'm going to also link my previous video, which I go into a little bit more detail, up in one of these corners, and so you guys can check it out. Basically, you want to start out with a regular loop. Leave out probably about that much just at the end, just so I can tie everything off when I'm done. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be making this right on the table, and so you don't have to have it on your arm. It makes it a lot easier to just be able to do it on the table like this. And they're all going to be, you know, about the size of my hand, so not too big. Maybe if you want to gauge it, just maybe like a couple inches. But like I said before, I'm going to try and make this a lot tighter weave, tighter knit. So if you want the blanket to be longer, wider than that, then you can add some more stitches to it. And I think I'm just going to unravel this just to make things a little bit easier. So now we're going to work on our first row, and all we're going to do is we're going to form little loops in our stitches. So I'm just going to take this and form a loop just like that. Go on to the next one, form a loop. And we're going to keep them all, you know, relatively the same size. On to the next one, form a loop. It's just basically patience and some time, and you'll get it figured out really quick. And honestly, if you mess up in some way, it's not a big deal to do some unstitching. Take some apart and do it again. Trust me, I've done it a lot in crochet. I did end up doing 21 stitches instead of 20. I just wanted it just a hair bigger, so I ended up adding an extra stitch, just FYI. Okay, I'm trying to give you guys every angle possible. Hopefully it's helpful, but I know sometimes it's hard to kind of see what I'm doing. So, okay, so then we're just gonna work it on back and do the same exact thing, just working on through the loops. Trying to keep them relatively the same size. I don't think it's that big of a deal if they're not exact. gonna kind of work the yarn with you as you go. So you kind of like put your fingers through the loop and just pull the yarn. Honestly, this yarn works up a lot quicker than the other yarn that I used for my other blanket, for the loopier blanket. This one just seems to flow a little better. And it kind of lays flat easier and stays put versus the other one. So if you're gonna pick one or the other, I would probably definitely pick the chenille yarn. Plus I think this is more of a blanket that you're actually gonna wanna use versus the other one is just for show and just kind of like to have draped over a chair. At least that's what I'm using it for. This one is actually one I'm planning on cuddling up with. I'm just gonna keep doing this until I have to join another skein of yarn and I'll bring you back. Okay, I'm getting close to joining another skein of yarn. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of how much one skein of yarn will get you, and this is what it is. I believe we are at row 7? 7 rows with one skein of yarn. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. And of course, depending on how big or small you make the loops, but that's probably pretty average. So just make a simple knot. And again, when you're finished with the project, you can always sew the ends or kind of like loop them through the yarn. It's really not a big deal. So you want to just do that at the end when you're all finished. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and do a simple knot. Do a really tight one if you can. So we will sew those in or wind those in at the end of the project. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and unravel this and then keep putting through the loops. Okay, so I just joined another skein of yarn, and this is what you do when your back and neck starts to hurt as you lean over your project, because sometimes standing or sitting can really affect your back. So I just want to kind of get this done, but you can also, you know, if you are experiencing any type of back and neck pain, obviously walk away for a little while and then come back, because it's really nice. Since it's on the table, you can pretty much finish it, you know, whenever it's convenient. So you can definitely walk away from the project. But I'm gonna try and push through the pain here and finish this up. Okay, so the blanket's getting big enough where I just went ahead and turned the project around, and now I'm just gonna be working like right here in front of me, which makes it a little bit easier. Have to find your rhythm and whatever, you know, kind of works for you, what position you want to stand in, sit in, be in. If you want to go from top to bottom or bottom up, just depends, but it can be done a variety of different ways. Kind of want to make sure you keep the yarn, the working yarn, kind of like right here. So you're just pulling through and up. And I think that just makes it a little bit easier to work with. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, so I finally got through the entire blanket. We are on our last row. This is the finishing row. So we're gonna go ahead and cast off. This is very, very simple. But basically you're gonna take these last 2 loops right here. You have the working yarn right here. And you're gonna pull that through those 2 loops, okay? Then you have 1 loop here. So you're gonna take your loop that you have already made down here, hold on to that, and again, pull that yarn through, okay? You have another loop. You're gonna pull the next loop, take your yarn, pull that through the loop, and you have 1 loop. Again, take your next loop, keep pulling the yarn through. Got another loop. And just basically you're working this yarn the whole way down the length of the blanket. So you're taking each loop and then pulling the yarn through. You probably just put the yarn here behind you, either way. And you're basically just finishing off the blanket. There are other ways to do this. You can, I did it a different way on my other video. Again, you can check that out. Just go ahead and pull that through and just keep working this all the way down, the yarn through. So you end up with like a braided top there. I don't know if you can see that. This project is very repetitive, which is a good thing. You can get the hang of it pretty quickly. Okay, so then you're at the end here and you've got your 2 loops left. You're going to again pull through and you're left with your final loop. You're just going to pull the rest of the yarn that you have left through that loop and cinch it. Make sure it's tight, and then you're left with this. Obviously, if you have this much yarn left, you're not gonna, tuck all of this in. So I'm probably going to maybe cut half of it, and then I will probably just tuck in the rest of the yarn. Here is our finished product. I absolutely love this. It is going to be so warm and cozy. I mean, look at this. It ended up being really good size. I'll leave down below what it ended up being for total size. I'm guessing probably a good, I would say 60 inches. So probably a 40 by 60 blanket is what I've got going on here, but I'll leave it down in the description box. I'll also leave a lot of other information and links in the description box, so make sure to check that down below. I'm also going to leave the Etsy link so that you guys can go check out her site, and it's really cool. She's got a lot of cool yarn. So it's a really nice Etsy site, and like I said, I think the price is right. So check her out. She's giving us a discount code for all my subscribers. So if you want to make this blanket, definitely buy the yarn from the Etsy site. I do not get anything from it. She just agreed to offer you guys a discount code. So I was really excited about that. Anyway, if you guys like these kind of videos, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts if you're gonna try it. If you have any questions, I will try and respond to all your questions for sure. Of course, subscribe so you don't miss out on my future videos. Thanks guys, we'll talk to you next time. Bye.